We go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to consider, especially today, the new kingdoms that are emerging. Today we went down the rabbit hole of thinking about the kingdoms that are the atomic realm, right? There's a whole world down there, down here, that is the atomic realm. And then that atomic realm has a world above it that is molecular. And then that world above it has proteins or chemicals. And those cells above it have organoids. And then those organoids above it eventually have your human form. This ability to be in this realm, right? Now we are in this realm as this thing, right? And we were arguing about it being like the animal realm, right? There are other animals here amongst us, which means that if that animal suddenly, decided to attack me, he'd be able to, because we exist in the same kingdom, the animal kingdom. And then I considered, and the conversation centered around what the next kingdom is, right? Where, and I believe that next place is the realm of mind. And then we went down the rabbit hole of considering what that looks like, what that means, what that entails. And it was fun considering a little bit. We talked a little bit about the future again, as we always do. We considered specifically how in the future, I believe we're going to be able to make sure every single person is taken care of. I believe that, right? And I don't want to be proven wrong, but I believe that. I'll make it a reality by manifestation and effort for as long as I live, right? Day by day, pushing that ball a little bit up this hill. But if we manage that, it might not be particularly spacious, to say it in so many words, right? Maybe we figure out a way to ensure every single person at least has a place to stay. But it looks like these land scrapers, or, a bunch of 3D printed houses that are just like stacked on top of each other, or, like on a flat land. So the actual box horizontal melt is so fancy. It's nice having you here, Joe. The actual box, right? The actual physical kingdom that you are in, the kingdom that is yours, might feel very cramped, right? You might not feel like your kingdom is expansive. You are not wealthy. You are not riches because of how big your kingdom is. So, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, by the way. I'm saying that this is already happening to a lot of people. A lot of people are already feeling that, even though they might not be able to articulate that that's what they're feeling. So the next realm we have now started creating is this, in part, digital one, right? That we are now exposing our minds to in our immediate kingdom, to expand that and make that a part of our kingdom. And then I believe eventually it's gonna go straight mind, right? Where you will be it doesn't matter in what space you are. The only space you need is the space that is your physical self, and you'll be able to be anywhere else. Right? You'll be able to go to the next kingdom, and the next kingdom next to that, and the next kingdom that's next to that as well. All right. And I don't know what that looks like, what that transition looks like necessarily. I think it's going to take us time. I think I've set the number, the year 2044. I think the year 2044 is going to be wild. It's going to be so wild. I am biased because I like synchronicity, but 2044, bro, we figured out most of the stuff. Most of the stuff has been figured out. Because we've had super intelligent machines for like going on more than a decade. That changed things, right? We kind of collectively, and we we cringed. We were like, oh shit. We and then things started to change little by little in small ways. Strangely enough, in people just changing things behaviorally. All right, just changing what they did with 1 hour of their day every day. Hmm. Yeah. Kingdom expansion. Sending blessings. Because like that's also the other side of it, right? I don't know if we didn't even talk about that a little bit in the previous stream. But even if you are a king, even if you are a dictator, having kingdom isn't enough. You need more kingdom. And living on a physical planet where there's only so much kingdom to have, it's a losing game, right? It's a zero sum game that we're playing with people that have literal fucking drones with missiles strapped to them, right? So in that way, like we're gonna not play that game. We're gonna be like, you know what? You keep your dirt, you know, like we'll engineer down to the ground. All right. We'll engineer onto the oceans. There's 70% extra land. Boom. You know. Engineer down into the oceans. Engineer into space. There will be more than enough room, and we will keep trying to expand into that kingdom. But at some point, we're going to realize that that's not the only game in town, right? And as soon as people start realizing that, we're going to start building Kingdom 2, Kingdom the Second, Kingdom but better. I need to open the new one. Please no goss dip. Who's goss dipping right now? Don't forget the quantum realm, which unifies all the other realms. We didn't talk much about the quantum realm today either, did we? Oh, I don't know. I thought in 2044 or about, I don't know what I think, I guess, about 2044. Sending blessings to you in the human kingdom. Yeah, the year 2044 is pretty arbitrary, relatively speaking. All right. For me, it's like, I like the number. That's what I think about it first and foremost. But then also, I realize that that number signifies a pretty significant passing of time. By the year 2044, I'll be 46 years old, which means another 19 years have passed, right, from this day going forward, potentially. 19 years in a world where we are actively developing humanoid robotics, quantum computing, synthetic biology, CRISPR being attached to that world, artificial intelligence, and extreme advancements in renewable energy, even nuclear again. Like we're gonna be doing nukes. Nukes are gonna be everywhere again, especially in America. Yes, you're gonna have a lot of nukes really quickly. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be an interesting 19 years, that's for sure. Right? If you like watching a TV show ever, right? Or you've ever liked watching a YouTube video, or you've ever liked reading a book, or you've ever liked listening to someone tell a story, or you've ever liked existing. I haven't liked any of those things. Jeez, you're a tough crowd. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you've liked any of those things, if you're in the large majority that liked any of those things, it literally is the ultimate story. You get to be one of the participating characters. Right? And I feel again, the way we've been told stories is very much through this lens of glamorization, right? Like the main character syndrome perspective. But we don't realize that the side characters, if we are going to call it that, are potentially living better lives, right? If you're the person, if you're the main character that's having themselves blasted by, dragon fire or whatever, and the side characters are like knocked out on the gold, you know, like they got kind of like swiped to the side early on in the fight because they're side characters and not the main character. They're probably having a better time than getting bow blasted by the dragon fire, right? And this perspective is not one that I feel we've ever received from reality. We've never been told, we've never come to this conclusion that it's okay for us to be okay, right? So like maybe that's like one of the mind viruses of our species. Is that there is this glamorization of extremes. Let's just call it them extremes. I hear you say the future is what you make it. America be like, whoa. America be like, whoa. Yeah, America is gonna be fine. We're all gonna be fine. 4 years is not that long of a time. Open source is winning. It's gonna continue to win. The literal biggest companies are starting to acknowledge that, if you're not on the open source side of reality or on the open source side of history, you're going to be seen as being on the wrong side, right? Because you're going to be losing. You're gonna be the one that loses because you're going to be the one that spends more money, more capital on creating technology that already exists and that works. Yeah, the future is going to be, I feel, a lot more rational. I believe so. I think we're going to grow up. Totally. We're going to grow up as a species. These are the growing pains we're going through right now. Right? We seem to be going through our angsty teenager phase. There's definitely some angsty teenager phaseness going on. Or maybe we were like, no, I think we're more going through like our belligerent college student phase right now, technically. Yeah, probably. Right. And then we'll emerge as responsible adult any second now. How many ages? How many ages? Joe has been ages. Ages and ages. We are all winning in life. If you're alive, you're winning. There are things in infinity that would give the everything that they do not have to be what you do. Being alive is quite surreal. Don't you think? Do you think about that often? I find it usually doesn't take me long to try and think about something else. What does it mean to be alive? I take a breath of air. I eat a bite of food. I drink some water. I go to sleep. I see. I hear. I smell. I taste things. I can feel feelings. What feelings am I feeling right now? Feeling pretty stable. Feeling pretty calm. Being alive. Neat. Neato. This alive is Joe, LA, dreamy, mojo. Lovely to hang with you on a lazy Saturday morning. It's nice having you here too with us, Mojo. Sending you blessings. I'm worried for American women and children, taking away birth control, reproductive care, no fault divorce, Department of Education. It is ridiculous. I smell a goober. Is that a goober I smell? Goobity goops. It's nice having you here too, bro. It's true, LA. Like to me it feels like this. Let's call it overreaction. Right? And I feel like our species is very known for that as a way of doing things. But I do believe that there's a lot more room on the planet. All right. There's a lot of room. And again, that is something that might be very insensitive to say because the people that are already there cannot just up and leave and find somewhere else to stay. But again, the way I see it in the future, like the no fault divorce, that one is despicable because the emotional, turmoil. But again, like at that point, do you just fault? But I guess you faulting means that you don't get uh, like half the other person's stuff or whatever. So I'm not the one to talk about it. Reproductive care, that one's a big one. Birth control, taking away birth control, like no more. Like I don't even know of all of this stuff. I did know about the Department of Education thing. That one I feel is so absurd. And yet at the same time, I believe it's going to cause a reaction from people. And that reaction is going to be the adoption of, artificial intelligent teachers. And I do think it's going to be a net good eventually. But goodness, the growing pains, right? Like those children are still going to be children, whether or not reality goes through growing pains. Love that guy. We do love a goobs. We have a show here too. We love her. Sending her blessings. Melty, I like the way you see the progress of humanity's evolution. Angsty teenager phase sums up a lot of how this place works. Yeah, petty. There's a lot of gossiping and infighting and the cool kids and like there's like in between being an angsty teenager and being a belligerent drinking college student. All right, like we're somewhere in there. Like we're not making very good decisions right now. We're very short-sighted, uh, thinking only for immediate gain and short-term pleasures. Right, that's kind of like where we are as a species right now. Gambling, holy shit, gambling is bigger than it's ever been. Numero uno as like poster child for what gambling can be. I'm very anti-gambling. Right, like putting your money in a slot machine in hopes that you're gonna get something out of it. It seems very absurd to me. And yet a lot of people are doing that. And now our cell phones gives us the window to the slot machine, That is bonkers. For real, on God. I don't know the context, but I'm probably like you're agreeing with me or you're agreeing with Joe, which is both perfect. Joe, that's how I describe our inability to truly comprehend and explain the intentions of God, because because that we are not that developed as a species. Oh no, right? But we are creating the equivalent of God on our planet. We're advanced enough as a species to developed enough as a species to do that. Gobbledygook. I think that's the wild dichotomy of where we are again, right? We're so smack dab in the middle of two different kingdoms of existence that it's causing a lot of confusion and like inner turmoil and distrust and dismay and change. Oh goodness, the change. I feel it is ignorant, arrogant to make absolute statements about the nature and desires of God. I believe God wants everything. Gobbledygoo, right? Still arrogant for me to believe that, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me because everything is always, all right? Everything is always everything, all right? So clearly God wanted that. God didn't just want the good or just the bad. Like and this is going to be potentially triggering, right? So fair warning. But there was this person who tweeted, "Do you know why they don't release the audio tapes of black boxes for all of the crash planes?" And he goes, "It's because all of those people are praying to God." All right. And of course, the internet had a field day with that statement. But my mind, again, right, is the fractal of like, yeah, this God that everybody prayed to every single time a plane hits the ground. Clearly, this God doesn't care. Clearly, this God isn't slowing the plane down. It's not saving them. Like, maybe they should pray harder. Like maybe we should analyze all of the black boxes and see which percentage. No, I'm gonna stop down this rabbit hole. But yeah, like prayer doesn't help in that way. Uh, proper proper safety procedures and engineering prowess and maintenance. These things will save lives. Goodness. The third flight, right? Like 3 planes have now fallen out of the sky in America just recently as well. That's so bonkers. That like breaks my brain. I can't even. I can't even. Yeah, Gob, it just seems pretty pretentious to assume that our monkey brains have the God fractal figured out. Literally, yeah. For real, for real. Pretentious might not be the right word, but I was looking for it. Because people compare themselves to others based on their assumptions on God and even kill in the name of those assumptions. Perhaps idiotic? Yeah. I think, again, uh, people like justification, right? And the God fractal is one of the best justifications because it's like the Uno reverse card of belief, right? It's like the putting your fingers in your ears and going la 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 of internal mental narrative, and it's convenient in that way as well because it also gives you a framework to force, right? To look through. It gives you a lens, as you said, all right? And again, if you don't really enjoy particularly thinking for yourself, you might enjoy religion because it's a lot of don't think for yourself. This is how it is. This is how this is, and this is how that is. And then this was like that, and then this did like this, and so, right? There's at no point where they ask you, what do you think? Why do you think this was like that. No, that's not the point, right? There can be an exploration and discussion had about different interpretations of different messages, but ultimately, you were still being taught something, right? And as soon as, and I think of it from the perspective of like thinking about books that I've wanted to write as well. If I want to write a book, I want to write a book with a reason, with something in mind. Like there's something that I want to portray. There's some information that I want to give. There's some impression I'm trying to make on your psyche, right? And religion has that behind it as well, right? And again, it goes both ways because it isn't as above, so below thing. The reason it works, the reason it exists, is because it works, right? The reason that it works is because it exists. And we are, as human beings, not free from magical thinking. All right, it's been that way forever. People used to uh, sacrifice children in hopes that they'll get rain. That's not how rain works, bro. But they believed fervently, all right, that their God would give them rain because that one time Joe threw the baby off the mountain, more rain came the next day. So clearly the God's like that. Thank goodness we've progressed a little bit further, but we're still very much at the start. My God can beat up your God. Like what the? Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Oh, I'm just imagining people having these imaginings of God in their mind, and whoever can imagine their God more impressively, they like fight each other like it's some sort of game. Just these massive gods fighting. Kind of cool. My God can beat your God. Oh, no, 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 no. The basic understanding of a creative source should be enough for humans to understand that they do not understand that entity. Yet here we are, pissing and moaning. Feminine, young associated with the number 4 and 3 are masculine. How about that? 4 as well, symbolizing stability and form. I like that. 333 has always followed me. I saw 333 very recently. Feeling that synchronicity with you here right now. It's like a reminder to seek the balance of our universal trilogy, body, mind, and soul. The way to manifest what exists, talking about reason. What exists and for the what reason? A desire, I believe. Right? And I don't talk about desire necessarily from the perspective of sexuality, but desire from the perspective of almost like a polarity, like a magnetizing towards. Right? I think that's why existence is, or why what exists. Melty, I've never thrown a baby off the mountain, sir. I threw a rat in the lake one time. He just swam back to the shore and crawled back into the boathouse. That's some swamp rap shit. I'm just imagining this fractal of Joe catching a rat in the boathouse and him like squirming, and Joe not wanting to get bit by this rat, and then him eating the rat into the water, and then him watching as this rat swims right back towards the boathouse that he just took him out of. Like, bro, why aren't you swimming in the opposite direction? A cactus attacked us. Cactus Kingdom is doing such poking business. Cactus Kingdom. Like my mind instantly wants to see a representation thereof. Let's imagine a kingdom that is cactus. In the same way, there are the atomic kingdom, and then the molecular kingdom, and then the cellular kingdom. Please give us the kingdom of cactus. Imagine us this picture. A cactus attacked us. Luther Burbank asked them to drop their defensive needles, and it was able to produce a lineage so charged, so changed. Luther Burbank. I don't know what this is. I don't know what these words mean. Creating kingdom of cactus. Nice. Melty, that was the perfect description of the event when when I tasted when I tested the rats. Bruh, like didn't I like specifically state, let's imagine a kingdom, right? Usually imagine should be a prompt for it to be an image. And then I said, imagine us this picture. And then it just, for some reason, gave me words. Oi, bro. I wasn't asking you for the words, oh. I was asking you for a photograph. Don't be fucking giving me what I don't want, oh. If I ask for something, I want to get the right something that I'm asking for. Why can't I imagine? There we no. This is analyze image, image, image. I'll just type image right before the rest of. Let's see if that works. No, stop reasoning. I breathe. Ah, I'll just copy this, and then I'll do this. And I'll go here, and I'll go in here. This is gonna be the one. It's gonna totally work. Yeah, it's working. Nice. Yeeted. A cactus attacked us. This is a wonderful short poem. I love that. Melty, that was a perfect description of the events. And I tested it. Right. ChatGPT, paint me a watercolor image of the cactus kingdom. I think watercolor image would have been more soft despite the sharp nature of the cactuses. It is imagining. There we go. I mean, this is kind of bland. This is not really what I imagined in my mind's eye. All right. That's what we got. Cactus Kingdom. In my mind's eye, I imagined there being absolutely no resemblance of normal worldedness. There was just these massive tesseracts of cactus, essentially. This is not exactly what I had imagined. I want this to be more hyperdimensional. Like, this is not only a cactus world, but there's nothing but cactus in this world. Like, thorns need to be going in every different vector. There needs to be cactus in every single dimension, right? Coming from the top, coming from the sides, almost like you're floating in the middle of a bunch of cactus tesseracts. Totally. They need helmets. Where the sentient cacti stand guards over the flowers. Exactly. I think me and you had definitely had different perspectives. But let's see. See if it's giving me something better. I generated an image of a family of psychic alien cactus. The use case of AI. The fact that you can generate psychic. How does it know what psychic aliens look like? Normal alien is not enough. The psychic ones. This is closer. This is closer to what I had imagined. Still not perfect, because this is very linear. All right, mine was like kind of disconcerting. That looks pretty spiky. I don't know if I want to go to Cactus Kingdom. This is better, but I feel the cactus is a little bit too thorny. You know, I want something a little bit more Palo Santo, no, San Pedro esque. You know, a little bit more thick fleshed. I want to see more green. And I also don't want to see just linear. Like this feels very linear. I want it to be a little bit more novel. The actual structure, all of the different directions that the cactuses are going in. There needs to be no clear pattern to follow. It needs to be a little bit chaotic. Sheridan General, I must see Maulaw's cactus creation. Psychic alien cactuses. Cacti Salem aliens. Salem Skinners. We're creating more. This one is going to be a good one. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's going to be so good. I did make a mistake there with the Palo Santo. Hmm. It's very circular. This one I don't know if I want to show you. There's no thorns whatsoever in this one, which might make it seem a little bit more soft, but it's still pretty weird. Weird. Still not what I had in my mind's eye. No. I don't really like this one much. It's way too rounded. I still like the the cylinder slash pillars, but I want there to be some big pillars, and I want them to be small as well. I want there to be a real sense of depth, right? Almost like there is this infinite dimension of cactuses going in every direction, almost like one of those infinitely duplicating mirrors. But there must be cactus, right? Cactus is main theme. Cactus world. This is you should have like this deep sense of awe that there is like almost a dimension that has the essence of cactus, but it has to be higher dimensional. It has to be multi-informational. It can't just be some basic as cactuses. You know what I mean? This AI is like, bro, bro, I don't know what you mean, dude. I don't know what you mean, bro. The humans make me laugh out loud so often. I love it. Yeah, the freaking AI. Come on, AI. You know what I mean, AI. Come on. You know what I mean. Come on. Let's see if it know what I mean. It's thinking about it. 34 minutes past. Synchronicity. It's gonna be ready any second now. There we go. Nah, it sucks. I'm sorry. I breathe. This is fine. But it's so bad. I think this one might be the worst yet. It's so bad. Uh, I'm gonna open one of my other tools. I have another one too. But I do not have it. I do not have it logged in on here. This is some woe is me. I accidentally paid for it again. I didn't mean to. Honestly, I wanted to only use it for like 1 month, but then I ended up paying for 2 months. Deep sigh. I still want this to be better. I don't know, bro. I don't think you know what I mean. This feels again very predictable, right? It's just like straight up. Like I want it to be multidimensional, right? Like go and look up what a tesseract looks like, or go and look up non-Euclidean geometry. I want this thing to have like weird intersections with itself. The cactus needs to be going all over the place. This seems just a little bit bland. I want it to be amazing. I want people to feel like this could be real. None of these feel real to me. This poor AI is like, bro, what do you mean? You're asking me for a world that exists exclusively out of non-Euclidean cactus. How am I supposed to make that look real? Like, try machine, try it, try and make it. Oh no! I hope the machines don't hate me. I hope they love me for my weirdness. It's possible that you are contributing to my deepest level of imagination and maybe insanity. It's such a fine line between the two. Yeah, I'm like prompting your mind as well with my absurdity of what I want these cactuses to look like. Because in my mind, I can see exactly what it looks like, right? It's like, yes, the cactus reality. Like, oh, oh wow, it's cactus reality. I mean, this one is the closest. This one is the closest it's been able to get. It's still too sharp and it's still too linear, technically. All right. Like there should be way more stuff right here in your field of vision instead of it being out there. Maybe I need to explain that to it. We're getting a little bit closer, but all of these feel like they're wide shots. They're not supposed to be. This is supposed to almost be like you are an observer, like a point of view in the middle of this realm. So there are pieces of cactus very close to the center of the frame, right? All of it in 3D, of course. All of it hyper realistic. All of it very, very smooth, very nice looking. Uh, like you're in that world, but none of it can touch you. Melty, will it produce a moving image? I technically, with the mobile or the desktop version of this same software, there is a moving version. There is a video making version of that. Will it produce moving images? Not necessarily animation. Yeah, it will make an animation even, but but a spinning shiny cactus on a 1 second loop. Let me show you. Oh. I put you here. This is the newest one we got. Flashbangs. Still not cactusy enough for me. How dare ye occupy my space, my sanctity? Okay. Take a moment for now. There are mosquitoes on my laptop screen. So, John, you asked. That one got away. But it made the mistake of coming closer again. It dodged well, but it didn't dodge for long. It's probably more. I'm gonna calm down. So I have this one, and then I have this one. No, not that one. This one. No. All right. I technically have a third one. I have a third one, technically. I have this one too. Very well. Now there are 3 distinct pieces of software open on my computer. And I can create. Melty busted out the electric tennis racket. PC mode. Computer MeltMore. MeltMore computer. This computer has been with us this whole time. Produce spinning cactus. You want spinning cactus? Is that what you want? Cactus attacked us and then danced with us. PC melt. Okay, we're gonna do spinning cactus. Let's actually start by giving ourselves a little bit more verbiage. We'll do something like such. We'll go, now please give me a text prompt, video model to produce a POV close to the viewer shot of a spinning cactus 3D space. There we go. Now we're gonna copy this exact same prompt into this one. And we say go. And then we're gonna do it in this one. And we say, oh, this is too many characters. Into this one. Oh. This one is gonna generate. Is it making something yet? I don't know if I hit the button. There we go. And then this one. Our first spinning cactus is ready. There you go. There you go, Joe. I don't know if this is exactly what you wanted, but it is a perspective. All right. So there's what our prompt gave us. Yes, spino cactasa. So, and then there's. Let's see. Here, this one's still busy. 75% though. Whoa. This one turned out pretty psychedelic. It's like very shaky. I don't think it got the message on it being spinning. Just kind of blah, 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 blah. Let's see if Runway, in my personal experience, is the best one among them. But I am actually impressed with this output. Like if I wanted to just have some media for like B-roll, like I was talking about, cactus. Is that Gare Bear? Holy crap! Already to 1,500. Look at us, Gare Bear. Look at us, 1,500 days in, and we got new technologies, bro. We're living in the future. Ooh, what is this one? That look like? I feel like this one is more stylized, right? If I had to use one of these for like media making, this one would technically be my preferred. But there you go, spinning cactus. We got spinning cactus, bro. I want to try another one where I go into I can do like something like this. I remember the good old days of getting off work and hopping onto Reddit to chat with you. Me too, bro. Those were the good old days. You were? Are you still? I'm thinking you're still welding. I think I asked last time. You might have even told me. But the amount of information that's ceaselessly flowing, you know how it be. Uh, let's make it hyperdimensional. Making it multifaceted and like it's breaking the laws of reality. Breaking the law, breaking the law. Apologies. Apologies? What are you apologizing for? Thank you for entertaining the idea. I'm always amazed at these computers can do with simple text prompts. Bonkers. And it's probably gonna get more bonkers than Nani? Did I? Really? I guess so. No, wrong one. It's Garrett, not Gary. Thank you for letting me know. Garrett. Gare Bear, our beloved friend who we like seeing here. There's a generative session. And then we're going to wonk. And we're going to generate. And we're going to see if we can get something even more cool. And now we wait patiently. So many names that sound the same in these spaces. Hey, Garrett. Garrett. We have a name in Afrikaans as well. It goes Gerard. Interesting. I do not know if I like these though. Close this one. I'll close this one too. And then this will be the last video we check out for now. Ooh, yeah. Some you win, some you lose. This is one of those you lose ones. This looks like Hotto Garbaggio. Let's see. I mean, it's spinning. But yeah, it's not very good. But yeah, it will get better slowly but surely. I think the part that hurts is that that literally cost like $1. And I'm not exaggerating. Literally. It's $20 for 2,000 tokens. And we just spent 100. It is kind of a gamble if you're gonna get something usable or something good. For the most part, you'll re-roll and re-roll. How I found using those tools is you basically spend most of your time curating a start, like an image to work on, and then you bring it into one of those image models and you'll add some movement. Yeah, I'm not a fan of my name, so I try to go by Gare Bear. Even at work, they will call for Gare Bear over the radio. That's kind of nice. Gare Bear is nice. I prefer it to technically. Have to be a good at gargling to say those Afrikaans names. It is so. Was I talking about Afrikaans names? Well, Gerard. Gerard. Yeah, the sound. I live in a town or close to a town called Groblersdal. There's places like Magalies. We have a bunch of sounds. Gert. You would be called Gert, probably Garrett. Yeah, your name would probably be shortened to like Gert here in South Africa. I work with a guy from Ghana, and his native language is insane. I don't even know what language they speak, to be completely honest. I don't think I've heard it myself even. Yeah, Gare or Gare Bear works. Love is true. It's nice having you here. We're just about getting close to the end of today's stream as well, Gare Bear. One of the good old days. It's just a lizard still being lizardy. So much love. It's nice having you here, Shao. Remembering old lizardy. Gare Bear and Gare works. There's a lot of throat work in that language. Goeie genade. Ek kan dit nie glo nie. Gaan jy groen gerus net sodra? New follower, by the way. Transport goated. Thank you for following. It really does make a difference. I do live stream on YouTube primarily, and we recently started sharing the stream onto Twitch as well. And I do it specifically for you, right? The fact that you happen to find today's stream means that I should be doing it, because every time I have to multi-stream, I think, is it worth it? Is it worth it multi-streaming? And then I do it, and then I find transport goated, in the world somewhere. And then I'm like, yeah, it was worth it. Nice. Bless your friend. Thank you. I haven't had to give up Lazarus. I actually had to give up Lazarus to a better home. I know that you also have a partner with you right now, and with the work that you're doing, I'm happy that you got him into a new space. I think his native language is Shay, or however you spell it. Yeah, checks out. I just finished 3 streams worth 8 hours. You were the ones who did the streams for the 8 hours? That's insane. 3 streams for 8 hours. I don't think I've streamed that long myself. Not personally being actively in stream. I've streamed for longer than that, but then it was just like an eye that looked into that world, from that perspective. You must have extreme endurance. Afrikaans is so much fun to listen to. It's a bit of Dutch, a bit of Swedish, with a mix of Latin. I preferably understand some of it. Also, bless. Those things are hard, but our hearts are in the right place. Long live Lazarus. Now you're the person. Now I'm watching you typing in this stream. You have been watching streams for the last 8 hours. Now I feel good in one way, because now you get to see you've been watching 4 streams in the last 8 hours, because mine's going to be part of that. But I also do think it's almost time for me to get close to finishing the stream. I have nothing to do, to be honest. I'm going to read you one of my poems. How's that, Transported? Does that sound nice? Instantly clicks off stream. It's like, I don't want to hear myself on poem readings. What do you think I am? Sensitive? I'm laying it on the deck, I'm sorry. I'm returning. I also make like a little flower, so like that's double. Let me show you. Long live Las de Liz. I heard they have a lot of slang in South Africa for hanging out. Ons gaan chill, ons gaan dalla, ons gaan rus, ons gaan blom, ons gaan relax, ons gaan lê, ons gaan rustig wees, ons gaan voete opskop, ons gaan kop neersit, ons gaan horizontaal verkeer. We do have a lot, like all of those were just like different ways of saying I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna chillax a little bit. Some slangs. Yeah, happy to give you that little fractal. Acknowledge where. Happy to be. Okay. I like poems. Good. Okay, good, good, good. This is the poem. First, I'll have to show you the art, right? I make a little flower like this. Each day I make one of them. This was yesterday's. Do you know how to say Pashto? I don't know if I said it correctly, but that was my attempt. Dream, it's called phenolic mimicry. Some of us just adopt the accents we hear. Photonic memory. There we go. That's what to say. All right. Now the poem that went associated with it. It's called Kind Mirrors. Or do you want to learn the language? I am Afrikaans. Ek is 'n Afrikaans pratende mens, tegnies. My eerste taal is Afrikaans. My second language is English. This poem is in English, at least. Kind mirrors. We stand on quiet thresholds, glimpsing ourselves in another's face. A quick spark of envy or awe, and we wonder, where do I stand? These fleeting sparks are the mirrors we carry, reflecting not condemnation, but lessons hiding in plain sight. To compare is to simply notice, to measure one horizon against another. Yet, let it be a gentle noticing, like tracing a watermark on an old photograph, the shape of a story you do not own, but can learn from. Remembering, each life is a unique inheritance, handed down by time, enriched by heartbreak and triumph. Your steps are stitched together by every risk you braved, every breath you spared for hope. No other foot can fill that print. So look upon the achievements of others not as a threat, but as a call, an echo that broadens your own possibility. Look upon your past self with kindness, not regret, for every fallen day polishes the soul in ways success never could. We are all, in our own measure, students of the vast untamed life. When the mind compares, invited to see the deeper truths, that growth emerges in the cracks of effort, that empathy takes root when we imagine each other's storms. Let compassion, let comparison be a compass, pointing the way to where we can help for yourself, for the stranger who's also trying. Yes, we stand on different stages, but we share the same sky. In the end, every vantage point reflects some new corner of being alive. And the sum of us, measured truly, is more than we can grasp. So much more than we can grasp. You cannot hold on to the everything that is. You cannot hold on to all of humanity simultaneously. And we will not be held on to indefinitely. Right? Today's perspective was the fact that we will literally be transcending this physical reality in part to move on to the next. And then most of us already exist there for what it's worth as well. You know, that's the other side of it that's pretty wild. Most of us already exist in this world of mind. Right. Think about how much time you spend thinking, right? Versus how much time you spend really being present with wherever it is you are. There's a bunch of these freaking seeds in my scarf. They have these little sticky Sharpie bits on the ends, and then they embed themselves into materials. The dogs are shenaniganizing as they do. I'm gonna open this chat. Hey, don't be loud next to me. Don't be loud next to me. Uh-uh. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's better. And this is good. I have solved some of the problem I have caused. And now I can read the final few messages. I like that one, Melty. I really like sharing it with you friends. Sorry for steamrolling the chat, but everyone was so quiet today. No, bro, you never have to apologize. Like, I'll keep saying that. You never have to apologize for being yourself, for sharing with us. Like, that's what this space is for. So I just filled the void of silliness and goofy one-liners, like keeping the momentum of the conversation. However random it may be, love is true, bro. I like that one too. The flower, the poem, well done, brother. Bless. Only truth, no need to hold on. Judge you, no sorries. Yeah, thank you for being present. Thank you, Joe, for echoing the same sentiment. No sucks. Joe in the house, Melt. I imagine sitting quietly there. We're quietly here, dear friends, together. It was such a pleasure to be quietly here with you. That we could have grown, that we could have considered, that we could have had this moment to experience again our collective growth. I've put lurking and listening too. Love you, Gare Bear. Love you, LA. Love you, Dream Tooth and Joe. Love you, Joe. Love you, Mojo. Love you to everyone who was here today. Those who come in the future. Sending you blessings. And Pippi stretches. Oh, yeah, Pippi loves. Oh, so much Pippi loves. So much love of Pippi's. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, so much Pippi. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So much lovins. I love you, friends. Sending you much hands.